this country. Hi, everybody. I'm Dagan McDowell in for Brenda Butner. This is Bulls and Bears. The Bulls and Bears this week, Gary B. Smith, Jonas Max Ferris, John Layfield, along with Hadley Heath Manning and Jessica Tarlov. Welcome to everybody. Hadley, do we need to spend more cost no object to protect us?
You know, it's hard to put a dollar figure on the price of law and order and feeling safe in our society. One piece of good news that I feel has been missed in recent weeks is a report from a Senate subcommittee that showed that our law enforcement and intelligence officials have foiled 580 plots against soft targets in the United States since 9/11. That's something to celebrate as we head into this July 4th weekend, but we want Americans to feel confidently safe. So this is absolutely something that is in the proper role of government, worth spending money on.
John Layfield, but we heard from the CIA Director Brennan saying ISIS, the Islamic State, does want to hit the U.S., does want to potentially hit U.S. airports. This is after the Orlando attack. Is it going to cost us more money?
It's going to cost us some more money, but look, Gary B. The last few weeks has been very good about articulating about the fact that we are fighting almost a World War II type war in World War III. There's a lot of things we are doing that don't make a lot of sense in this new world that we're in. Look, you take TSA, for example. I went on the TSA website before the show. About $6.7 billion is what TSA cost last year. $2.3 billion was offset through user fees, about $4.4 billion. Look, that should be done. You're 900 million passengers. So you add about $5 or $6 per passenger you pay for TSA. That should not come out of the government. Now, what else can you do? You take the perimeter out. You don't take the security perimeter out. You just take the perimeter out to make sure that people only that are flying come through. That's a mild security to make sure you know who is in the airport. Then you start with TSA security, which is a problem. We do need to privatize that. But a lot of things we can do that aren't going to cost a lot of money. The last mile, the federal law enforcement to the local law enforcement, that is the big key right now that we have, that there is a gap between either delayed or a lack of information feeding. That does not cost a lot of money.
Jonas, let's talk about the cost of not spending more money, at least to fight terror. In this new Fox News poll, we found that more than 8 out of 10 people who were polled are nervous about our ability to prevent terrorist attacks. If they're nervous, it could change their behavior and whack the economy.
Well, it could. I mean, that's probably one of the strongest reasons for spending money is the irrational fears people would have in not doing things.
Or rational, given what we've seen this past week.
Realistically, people aren't we're having the most drivers on 4th of July. People aren't scared of driving because one Tesla car crashed because of the autopilots on the road. Like, you don't make it too, you don't overblow a risk just because it's on the news all the time. But people do, and therefore, if the government took steps, it would reassure people. Now, that doesn't mean we could just spend unlimited money, and it also means maybe the money would make people feel safer if it came out of the nuclear submarine budget or other homeland security pieces and went into more visible security things. And some of those, look, I like to think the government could solve this with like high-tech solutions that are more cost-effective. But realistically, this government, I'm on the TSA pre-list, and they keep bomb-skinning my hand when I carry my chihuahua to the airport because I might have put a bomb in them. It doesn't make any sense, and they're wasting their time. So why not put people to work? You could hire, look, you could put $50 billion. You can hire 1 million people who come out of the Army who very often don't have jobs and pay them to stand around high soft targets.
I want to get
$50 grand a year.
I want to get Gary B in here because again, I hear a lot of government. What about private businesses taking care of security?
Well, yeah, exactly, Dagan. There's a few points. One, let's talk about do we have the money? Because Hadley mentioned we need to spend the money. I would argue we're already spending the money. My gosh, just the Homeland Security budget, if we include all the other ancillary agencies that also do Homeland Security besides the DHS, it's probably $80 billion there. John mentioned the Department of Defense, the budget. We have a budget, Department of Defense, of like $596 billion. You look through the things that they have, tanks and aircraft carriers and this and that. Yes, we need them to fight conventional wars. But as John said, building, on my remarks, we're not fighting conventional wars anymore, so we need to shift that money. Now, Dagan, you mentioned putting in place the private sector. I fully agree. We need to have, the problem with any of this is we see in Istanbul and say we're going to throw money at airports, or we see, you know, something like the cafe bombing, with just yesterday or so, and we say, oh my gosh, we're going to try to get all the soft targets. We don't prioritize, and that's where I think we need to bring in the private sector. We have smart minds at Google and Apple and Tesla and all those companies. What we probably need is a Manhattan kind of project to figure out how we're going to fight World War III, because I think we have an old mindset. This is how we fought past wars. We'll just throw money at it like we've thrown at every other war, and we'll somehow solve it. I think we need a paradigm shift in our thinking.
Jessica?
I agree, actually, with what everyone said on the panel here, and I think that the most important thing, though, is that from the top, that President Obama is out there explaining to the American people that he understands how scared they are. That poll that you read out, that it's 8 of 10 Americans, that was just 6 in 10 Americans a few months ago. And we should spend more money to protect soft targets. I don't want TSA getting more funding. I would like that to be reformed and to operate better, of course. But I would also like to see, you know, the federal government working with counter-terror units in cities that have dealt with terrorism, like our own here in New York City, and getting good advice from them. And I think that we really need a national approach to this, where everyone is paying attention to the nature of the threat and working together to combat terrorism. And I know that we take down a lot of threats, and Hadley's right to point that out, but obviously we need to be doing more.
But Hadley, I'll bring up something about President Obama, which potentially makes it worse, is when you're not willing to identify the enemy. And this has been a recurring theme, and the president disagrees and Democrats disagree, but if you're at war with radical Islam, then the American people deserve to hear that, and it gives them some sort of solace to at least have the Commander-in-Chief acknowledge it.
Exactly, and Jessica's right that leadership does matter. I believe the president's rhetoric on this issue matters very much. He made a campaign ad, actually, about words. Do words matter? And he actually hearkened back to the I Have a Dream speech that Martin Luther King Jr. made. So we know that the president understands the importance of his words. He should use the appropriate verbiage to say what this is, that ultimately we do face a threat worldwide of radical Islamic terrorism, and if he's not willing to articulate that, that's something that's contributing
Hadley,
to the number of Americans who are afraid.
Hadley, no one is confused about the fact that President Obama knows exactly who we're fighting, and not using those words is actually a Bush-era policy. He was the first one to do this, but no one's sitting around criticizing him for it. I think that's incredibly unfair, and I think that he takes the threat very seriously.
I just wanted to bring John back in here. Layfield, in terms of how we fight this that doesn't cost any more money, it's giving the power and the ability to, say, the FBI to do their job. They've had to fall back on doing basically undercover operations, stings with informants, because they lack resources. And you have some senators, some Republican senators, who want to give the investigators the ability to track web activity of suspected terrorists and even their email activity, and that gets shot down.
Yeah, it's where we prioritize that money. As Gary B. said, look, this is a different type of war, and this is not about nomenclature. I would agree with that, but this administration is 5-foot guys in 10 foot of water. They have absolutely no idea what is going on in the Middle East. We back one government, then we back the overthrow of the government that we just backed. We don't have a plan. We need to go to the United Nations and actually declare war on ISIS. Take Syria with us. Take Saudi Arabia with us. Take Turkey with us. They will all be on our side on this, and actually declare the enemy out there. Who cares what you call them? When I talk about the TSA, I was talking about a self-funding TSA, by the way, and completely being redone. And you've got to enable law enforcement at the level of where the point is to do their job. And that is going to include stop and frisk. Now, if you have law enforcement that go over the hedge, prosecute those guys. But you've got to give those guys every tool available to fight this new war.
Thank you, John. Thanks, everybody.